Koel. The koel, also known as the Asian Koel, Eudynamys scolopaceus, is a bird species known for its distinctive and melodious calls, especially during the breeding season. Male koels are particularly known for their repetitive and often loud vocalizations, which they use to attract mates and establish territories. Here are some key features of koel songs. Male koels are known for their repetitive calls, often characterized by a series of Koel notes. These calls can be heard throughout the day but are more pronounced during the breeding season. Koel calls are typically loud and clear, carrying over long distances in their forest habitats. The male koel's vocalizations are meant to advertise its presence and attract potential mates while also asserting its territory against rival males. While the basic Koel call is characteristic of the species, male koels may vary their vocalizations with different pitches, rhythms, and sequences. Variation in calls may serve different purposes, such as courtship displays, territorial defense, or communication with nearby individuals. During the breeding season, male and female koels may engage in duetting, where they alternate their calls in a coordinated manner. Duetting is believed to strengthen pair bonds and may play a role in mate selection and territorial defense. In many cultures across Asia, the koel's calls are associated with the arrival of spring and are often considered a symbol of love and courtship. The melodious calls of the koel are celebrated in folklore, poetry, and music, reflecting their cultural significance in the region. Male koels are known to mimic the calls of other bird species, including crows, mynas, and other songbirds. This mimicry may serve to confuse rivals or potential predators, enhancing the koel's chances of reproductive success. Male koels often contribute to the dawn chorus, a collective singing phenomenon observed in many bird species during the early hours of the morning. The dawn chorus serves various functions, including territory establishment, mate attraction, and synchronization of breeding activities. Overall, the songs of the koel are an integral part of its natural behavior and ecology, serving important functions in communication, reproduction, and social interactions within the species. The koel is native to parts of Asia, including South and Southeast Asia, as well as parts of Australia. It inhabits a variety of habitats, including forests, woodlands, parks, gardens, and agricultural areas. Male koels are glossy black with striking red eyes, while females have brown plumage with white streaks and spots. Both males and females have long tails with distinctive barring. Koels are primarily frugivorous, meaning they primarily feed on fruits. They especially favor figs but also consume a variety of other fruits. They may also eat insects, caterpillars, and occasionally small vertebrates. Koels are brood parasites, meaning they lay their eggs in the nests of other bird species, often crow-like birds such as crows or magpies. The koel's eggs are typically larger and differently colored than those of the host bird, but the host raises the koel chick as its own. Some populations of koels are migratory, moving between breeding and non-breeding areas in response to seasonal changes in food availability and climate. In some regions, such as parts of Australia, koels are considered summer migrants, arriving in the breeding season and leaving during the non-breeding season. Male koels are known for their loud and melodious calls, which are often heard during the breeding season. Their calls consist of a series of Koel notes, which can vary in pitch and intensity. The calls of the koel are often associated with the arrival of spring and are considered a harbinger of the season in many cultures across Asia. In some regions, the koel's calls are believed to bring good luck or are considered a symbol of love and courtship. The koel is generally considered to be of least concern in terms of conservation status, as it has a wide distribution and is relatively common in many parts of its range. However, habitat loss and degradation, as well as persecution in areas where it is considered a pest, may pose localized threats to populations. These are just a few highlights of the fascinating life of the koel, a bird with a rich ecological and cultural significance across its range. While the koel, Asian Koel, Eudynamys scolopaceus, is a resilient and adaptable bird species, it faces several biological challenges that can impact its survival and population dynamics. Some of these challenges include: one of the primary threats to koel populations is habitat loss and fragmentation due to deforestation, urbanization, and agricultural expansion. Loss of forested areas reduces the availability of suitable nesting sites and foraging habitat for koels. Koels are brood parasites, laying their eggs in the nests of other bird species, often crow-like birds such as crows or magpies. While this reproductive strategy allows koels to save energy on parental care, it can lead to conflicts with host species and may result in reduced reproductive success if host birds reject or abandon koel eggs. Climate change can impact koel populations by altering the timing of seasonal events such as breeding, migration, and food availability. Changes in temperature and precipitation patterns may affect the abundance and distribution of the fruits and insects that koels rely on for food. Fragmentation of habitats can isolate koel populations, reducing genetic diversity and increasing the risk of inbreeding. Small, isolated populations may be more vulnerable to stochastic events such as disease outbreaks or extreme weather events. In some areas, koels may come into conflict with humans due to their habit of nesting in urban and suburban environments. Koels may be perceived as pests by people due to their loud calls, nest parasitism, or damage to crops and fruit trees. While not a major threat overall, koels may be illegally captured or traded in some regions for their song or as pets. Illegal trade can impact wild populations and disrupt natural behaviors such as migration and breeding. Koel eggs, chicks, and adults may face predation from natural predators such as snakes, birds of prey, and mammals. Competition for food and nesting sites with other bird species, including both host species and other frugivorous birds, may also pose challenges for koels.